Hey everybody, it's Becky. I am super excited to be filming this video today because even though you won't see it for a while from the day that I'm actually filming it, it is the first Christmas themed video that I have made so far for this year. It's really fun for me to be talking about it because I for the longest time, every time somebody said Christmas, I was like, ugh, Christmas. I don't want to think about Christmas right now. The stores like Hobby Lobby had their Christmas decorations out in July and that just disgusted me. But now I'm really excited about Christmas. So I thought it'd be really fun this year to share with you guys my favorite Christmas movies. I've seen other people do this video and I think a lot of times the ones I have seen, they mention kind of the same videos or movies. And I might have some that you've already heard of before, but I think there may be a couple in here that you have not seen. At least maybe one you haven't seen. I don't know. My first one, and this is really one of my very favorite Christmas movies, even though it's one of the newer ones that I have found in the last couple years, and it's called 12 Dates of Christmas. So you can imagine it's a typical takeoff on the 12 Days of Christmas. This is actually a movie that I believe either came on Hallmark or Lifetime. I can't remember, but it was on Netflix last time I checked. I know it was on Netflix last year, and I did see it on TV as well. And basically, it is the 12 days of Christmas, but this girl is doomed to repeat these 12 dates of Christmas until she can get it right. And it's just really cute, and it's cheesy, but I really like it. And it's Mark Paul Gosselaar, so if you're a child of the 90s and you grew up with Saved by the Bell, he's in that. And then Amy Smart, she's like the blonde hair. I can't think of anything else she was in. And actually, one of my favorite Christmas songs is Michael Bublé's Cold December Night, and the first time I ever heard that song was actually on the 12 Dates of Christmas movie. So check Netflix and see if it's on there. Check your TV listings and see if you can find it because it's definitely cute and it's worth watching. My next favorite is actually a cartoon, and even though I have kids now, I think I watched it before I had kids. I'm pretty sure I did. Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas. I know there's a Mickey's Twice Upon a Christmas, but I don't like that one as well. Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas is a conventional animated Christmas cartoon with Mickey and Minnie and all the characters, and it's just so cozy, and I love that one. Mickey's Twice Upon a Christmas is not as old, and it's more of like the CGI looking characters, so they don't look as cozy, and it's not as good, I don't think. It's still worth watching. But Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas, I love that cartoon. There's actually a couple cartoons within that movie. They're all Christmas, obviously. And I just love that one, and that's one of the ones that I would not want to miss watching, even if I didn't have kids. I just think it's really cozy, and I really like that movie. Now, this is the one that I think maybe you guys may not have seen. It's called The Bishop's Wife. It's an old black and white Cary Grant movie from, I don't know when it was. It was probably the 40s, maybe, 30s? No, 30s? I don't know when it was, but it's Cary Grant and David Niven and Loretta Young, and it's a story about David Niven plays the character of this priest, and Loretta Young is his wife, and so David Niven's character is supposed to be raising money to build a cathedral, and so he prays for God to help him to get money for the cathedral. Well, all of a sudden, Cary Grant's character shows up and says that he's an angel, and he was sent there to help David Niven's character. Well, all this stuff happens, and David Niven is not sure that Cary Grant is really an angel, and basically the point of the whole story is that sometimes when you pray for something, God sends you what you asked for, but not necessarily what you thought you wanted. Does that make sense? So it's a really funny, good movie, but it's got a good meaning to it too, and I love the ending, so definitely I recommend you watch this movie, even if you're not an old movie fan or a Cary Grant fan, and I love the message of it, and I just love that movie. So I ended up buying mine from Amazon because I did not see it on TV for a couple years and I really missed it. So I just went ahead and purchased it from Amazon a couple years ago so that I would always have it in our collection because I love it that much. My next favorite Christmas movie is pretty much a cliche, but it's White Christmas. It's one of those ones that I would feel bad if the holiday season got by and I didn't watch it. I really would miss it. It gets a little boring in certain parts, but I just love it. I love musicals. I love Danny Kaye, and I love that movie. And I like that I can share it with my girls. They're both of the age now where they would appreciate it and do appreciate it and think it's funny. And I just really love it. And if you haven't seen it, you definitely need to see it. It's a classic Christmas movie, and it's a classic for a reason because it's pretty amazing. Another Christmas movie favorite, it's kind of more modern, is The Holiday with Cameron Diaz, Jude Law, and Kate Winslet. One of those movies you could watch pretty much all year round because even though it is about Christmas, you kind of forget at certain times in the movie that it is a Christmas movie. But basically, Kate Winslet's character and Cameron Diaz's character switch houses. So Cameron Diaz is like a rich LA girl. She ends up going to this little English cottage. And Kate Winslet's character goes and moves into Cameron Diaz's house, which is all posh because she's like a rich movie trailer director or something. And it's really funny. Jack Black is in it, so it's really a funny movie, and I like it really. I really like it, so I wouldn't recommend watching it with your children because it does have some adult content, not like adult, like, you know, but there are some love scenes, if you want to call it that. I wouldn't recommend that for kids, but it's definitely a good movie if you're an adult. Another movie I really like, and I think this year I am going to let my oldest daughter watch it, it's Fred Claus with Paul Giamatti, Kevin Spacey, and Vince Vaughn. There are, I think, 2 or 3 curse words in it, but I remember where they are, and so I think I should be able to mute it because it is a really funny Christmas movie. Fred Claus is supposed to be Santa Claus's brother, so of course, can you imagine growing up in the shadow of Santa Claus? Like, he feels like beaten down, he's never good enough, his parents don't approve of him. So he's kind of bitter, and he ends up having to go back to the North Pole to help his brother with Christmas, and all this crazy stuff happens. It is a really funny movie, and if you can remember where the curse words are and you can mute those out, I think it's funny for kids. It's not really what I would call a family movie because in my opinion, if it's got a cuss word in it, it's not a family movie. But I know where the cuss words are. I've seen it enough times, so I think I can mute it, and my oldest daughter will think it's hilarious. So it's a really funny movie. I'm excited for her to see it, and I think that you guys would enjoy it as well. Another newer Christmas movie that I like watching every year is Four Christmases. Again, it's Vince Vaughn, Reese Witherspoon. I can't think of who else is in it. Well, that's the main people, I guess. Robert Duvall's in it, and I don't like him very much, but Tim McGraw's in it too, which is kind of funny. But basically, Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon's characters, they don't want to go back home for Christmas because their families are like messed up. So they always make some excuse to not be home for Christmas. So they tell their family they're out like volunteering somewhere or they're doing some kind of missions work when they're really not. And they end up going to like Fiji or somewhere. Well, there becomes a big storm and they can't leave. So they end up having to go to all 4 parents' houses because their parents are divorced. All 4 houses in one day for Christmas, and all this crazy stuff happens. And of course, it's like ridiculous humor. It probably would never happen, although it may, who knows. But it's funny, and I like watching that one. So Four Christmases is a good one to watch. And the last 2 Christmas favorites that I have are Hallmark movies. The first one is Christmas Under Wraps. It's Candace Cameron Bure, and I can't remember the guy's name. But basically she goes to this town where she thinks something's a little fishy because it seems like there's a guy that looks just like Santa Claus, and all this stuff happens, and I don't want to tell you what happens at the end of the movie, but it's worth watching. So check Hallmark Channel to see if it's coming on again this year. And also Let It Snow, again, is Candace Cameron Bure. And it's just another one of those like typical kind of Hallmarky movies, but it's cozy and it's set in Christmas time in like a snowy lodge type of a setting. So it's a good movie, and I really like that one as well. One thing I want to say, and I mentioned it about the Fred Claus movie, is some of these movies do have curse words in them, so I don't want you to think that just because I recommend them that I think that's okay. I do not think that's okay. I really don't know how to handle that because I guess technically, you know, some people would argue, well, if your kids can't watch it, then you shouldn't watch it, and that's probably true. But then on the same token, if you don't watch anything that doesn't have curse words, then you probably wouldn't watch anything. So maybe that's what we're supposed to do and not watch anything. I don't know. But even commercials now have curse words, and radio commercials have curse words. So I don't know. It's one of those things. It's a very fine line. It's definitely personal preference. If you want to check any of these movies before you watch them or you let your kids watch them, I would definitely check pluggedinonline.com. I think that's the right website. I'll put it in the description box below. I check that website before I let my kids watch any movie, and for the most part, any fairly modern movie will be on that website, and they will tell you every single word that's used that may be inappropriate, every single scene that may be inappropriate, or anything like that, so that you can make the decision for yourself. I know that Christmas Under Wraps doesn't have cuss words. I know Let It Snow doesn't have cuss words. White Christmas doesn't have cuss words. The Bishop's Wife doesn't, and Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas doesn't. Thankfully, Mickey's like the last person that doesn't cuss. But 12 Days of Christmas does have some. The Holiday definitely has a little bit of cursing and some inappropriate scenes. Fred Claus does have those few that I mentioned, and For Christmas definitely does. So make the decision, whatever decision you want to make. I just thought it would be fun to share this with you guys and let you know some of the favorite movies that I like to watch at Christmas time. And I will try to have links for everything for you in the description box below. And I will try to remember to link that Plugged In website too, because I use that thing like a lot. to check books and TV shows and movies for the kids to make sure that they're appropriate. And even then, I still am cautious, but at least it's a good place to start. They're usually pretty accurate. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below, what are some of your favorite Christmas movies or TV shows? What do you like to watch at Christmas time? If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.